Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is John, call sign Kilo 5 Golf Tango, or the Dutch Ham. And this is the third episode in the series of the Dutch FXM, the radio of the ham radio exam for obtaining your Dutch full license. I once tried to do the C exam in the mid-80s and I failed by 2 questions. Well, at least 2 questions too much wrong. So I guess back then I cannot really remember anymore how many questions it was, but back then you only could do exam twice a year, one time in the spring, one time in fall. And somehow after I failed for the exam, I never tried again until about now 6 years ago when I moved to Texas, living in a hurricane-prone area. So emergency communications came to interest again, and was one of the major driving force to get my license. But let's continue with the questions. Last time we came to question 20, so let's continue with 21. If the frequency is doubled, the input impedance becomes... Now the resistor is unaffected by the frequency. The coil, however, because the impedance of the coil is the 2 times pi times the frequency times the inductance. So if the frequency doubles, then also the impedance of the coil will double, so it will become 600. But why is there not an answer that comes close to it? Because then it would be... Because I would say that two times pi times the frequency times the inductance. So if it's now 300 ohms, that would become 600 ohms. And then in total, as simple as they did it the last time, it would become 1400 ohms. And that answer is not there. Sorry, there was someone at the door, so I had to stop for a moment. This is a weird question. Let me see if I can make sense out of it. So let's say 300, say the frequency is 50. Two times pi times 50 times L. No. So if we do as simple as they did before, then we come back to 300 is 300 L if I use 50 for the frequency. So L is 1. So then 2 times pi times the frequency is doubled, 100 times 1. If we still again round the pi to a 3, then I come to 600. And then 800 plus 600 is 1400. And that answer is not in the list. Or are they now suddenly... I mean, in the previous questions, they didn't bother about the angles between the... So... And now all of a sudden maybe they do. So that is... So let's draw it out. So 800. And that is 600. So let me get my calculator again. So 800. Where is the square? There. Plus 600. Squared is, and there the square root from, yeah, okay. It's answer D. Now all of a sudden they don't care about, now all of a sudden they do care about the angle between the inductance and the resistor, while in the previous question they just added them up. So if you do 8 square and 6 square, you get 100. 64 plus 36, then the square root, so it will be 10, so then add the 2 zeros. So it's 1000 ohms. So this makes sense now. Now all of a sudden they do care about the angle between the resistor and the inductance. Statement 1. An FM transmitter is used to transmit a digital TV signal. The class of the broadcast is F1D. Claim 2. A suppressed carrier single sideband transmitter is modulated with a speech signal. The class of the broadcast is J3E. What's right? Pooh. I have no clue. I can... because I have no clue about... let me quick Google it. F1D, what is that? Oh. Modulation. One channel containing, and then D, data transmission. So the first one can make sense, and the second one was single sideband J3E. So the J is single sideband. One channel containing analog information, so that's also correct. And E is telephony, so That one is also correct. So I guess in this way, because it is a digital TV signal, so I think they're both correct. I was looking at the time, already 10 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun. The word quartz is spelled according to the prescribed spelling alphabet as... Okay. Now it does make sense, because in Dutch it's KWAR. So it's KWARTS. But here they translated, in the answers is not translated, so it's Kilo Whiskey Alpha Radio Tango Sierra. Kilo Whiskey Alpha Romeo Tango, so it's answer D. So in this case, the translation doesn't really go up with our friends of Google, because they did translate the word quartz, the Dutch word quartz, to the English word quartz, but so for the English people that are translating the website, this is going to be a little bit sideways. Okay, 24. Let's hurry up a little bit. In the circuit, the collector-emitter voltage of the transistor is measured. The meter itself has no deviation. Which meter causes the smallest measurement error? No, B is nonsense. No, 10 kilovolts of 10 kiloohms per volt. Then with 5 volts, it's only going to be 50k. So that is much bigger than the 1 megohm. And this also doesn't make sense. 0.5 milliampere full reading. So I will just go for answer A, the 1 meg internal resistance. Because B is much too low, C is also lower. And I guess you want a meter that has a full reading with a much lower amperage than half a milliamp. I guess you want something with full reading in the microamps. Okay, next question. The best method to protect the receiver from the effects of nearby lightning strike is... disconnect the turn off the receiver, disconnect the receiver from the antenna and mains, properly ground the receiver box, turn off the earth leakage circuit breaker. No, that one doesn't make sense. Only turning it off also doesn't really make sense. So I guess the best option would be B, to disconnect the receiver from the antenna and the mains. Because if you properly ground it, you might be protecting your house and yourself, but it's not going to help the receiver. So we'll go for answer B, disconnect the receiver from the antenna and the mains. So then it cannot be damaged by a lightning strike in the antenna, and it cannot be damaged by a strike that hits the power source. After dusk, signals from distant transmitters on the 80-meter bands are stronger because... Oh... It's a layer question. This would be a guess for me. I have no clue. I've not lately. I have not really been studying the effects of the layers. I think it is the F layer, but I have no clue if it has risen or it has dropped. Nah, this would really be a guess. The D layer. Yeah. It's not a matter of rising or dropping of the layer. So it must be the D layer. And I guess it's getting ionized by sunlight. And the effect of the sunlight is getting less. So I guess then it must be answer D. That the layer has disappeared because the sun disappeared. Yeah, I go for the answer D. Next one, 70 minutes, so it's gonna be a 20-minute video again. The voltage across RB should be stabilized at 5 volts. RS should be... So we want to have 20 milliamps, I think it is. Milliamps. Let's get my calculator again. Clear. So we want to have a drop of 2.4 volts divided by okay. Oh, we have 100 milliamps, huh? Okay, yeah, so to get to this point of 5 volts, we want to have 20 milliamps through the Zener diode, and there is going 100 milliamps through to the load. So we get a 2.4 voltage drop divided by 0.12 is 20. So this is 20 ohms. So in total here there will be 120 milliamps, the 100 amps to the load and 20 milliamps through the zener to get it in the correct working point. So in this resistor there will be 120 milliamps. So then the voltage drop over this resistor will be 7.4 minus the 5 volts over the zener. So this is 2.4 volts. So the 2.4 volts divided by the 120 milliamps gives us a resistor of 20 ohms. Okay, 28. In the circuit, all resistors are 100 ohms. In R2, a power of 1 watt is dissipated. In R1, a power is dissipated of... Pooh. I would say half a watt, because it's a voltage divider, so they all both have in R2 a power of 1 watt is dissipated. Okay, so here's 1 watt. So we have 2 watts here. Let me see, 1 watt. Yeah, so the current in this will be twice as high because the voltage is the same. So then I will go for 2 watts. Yeah, I will go for 2 watts. Because there are 2 parallel circuits, this one is double the impedance of that circuit. So if that one has 1 watt, then that one has 2 watts. Okay, 29. Oh, already 23 minutes. When the grid voltage of a triode is made more negative with respect to the cathodes. I think when you make it more negative, you will start blocking the triode. So I'll go for decreasing the anode current. But I have been looking at this stuff for a whole long. Okay, last question quick. To keep it, no, we don't keep it under 25 minutes anymore. A voltmeter with a sensitivity of 10 kilo ohms per volt is connected to a voltage of 20 volts through an unknown resistor R. The meter is in the 10 volt range, it reaches 5 volts. So 50k. So then that one must be 3 times as big, so. Sure. Okay, so that was it for the third episode. 2 more coming up, and hope you like this. As I said, I didn't study at all, so it's all old knowledge that I have, and I'm also curious if I will be passing or not. So please like and subscribe, and see you in the next episode coming soon. Bye bye, Sam3.